A Yorkshire Childhood, Chapter 55, entitled Splish-splash. Reluctantly, he searched for his trunks and forced a smile. He didn't want Mary to see how unhappy he was. He wasn't a good swimmer and could swim about 10 lengths. Then Josh's arms would ache and he'd stop. Tom, on the other hand, was a good swimmer. In his youth, he had won many medals and been tipped for the top until he crashed his bike and hurt his knee, which slowed him down a lot. Mary was an unknown, but he was sure she'd find out, and they drove to the public baths with Tom and Mary chatting away excitedly. "I have a lovely bathing suit," she said, "bright pink," and she turned and winked at Josh, and he knew what she was alluding to. Tom didn't seem to notice. This was unlike him, thought Josh worriedly. Josh was slim and he felt uncomfortable being undressed around adults. Tom was 6'2" and he was heavily built with strong arms and shoulders, perfect for swimming. All the years in his garage had given him a good physique. Josh changed quickly just to get it over with. He was resigned to his fate. He dangled his feet over the water and hoped it wouldn't be too cold. Unfortunately, he learnt with a gasp that it was. He was relieved he didn't cry out loud, as the last thing he wanted was to be mocked by the older boys for being seen as a wimp. He kicked the cold water in frustration. At this rate, he thought, he'd be glad to get back to school. That's how bad things were, and then to confound things, Mary bounded in, cackling and looking like a busty pink ballerina, to Josh's surprise. She drove straight in and made a splash like a bomb hitting the water and covering Josh with more cold water. It was difficult for him not to shiver. For reasons unknown to him, she found this hilarious, and a loud cackle filled the swimming pool and echoed off the walls. She shouted at him to jump in. That was something he wasn't keen on doing. He lowered himself slowly into the pool. Luckily, no one saw how worried he looked, and the water was so cold he could feel himself getting a headache. He was not happy. Luckily, Mary was distracted by the sight of Tom diving in wearing his tight trunks. Josh dunked himself under the water to hide his embarrassment. When he surfaced, they were hugging each other, laughing and joking. Tom smiled at Josh and he smiled through gritted teeth. He has no idea, thought Josh. He immediately felt guilty and decided to practice his swimming. He swam steadily up and down the pool and left them to it.